just saw was an incident from the South China Sea. This is the usual behavior of a Chinese ship in neutral waters. Find a boat from either Taiwan or the Philippines and spray it with water cannons. In this case, it was a Philippine boat. Another nation's boat could be next, because that's what China does. It tries to be the big bully of the region. Only this time, the Pearl of the Orient Seas is standing up to the Red Dragon. The Philippines is staring back at China across contested waters. For what China refers to as the South China Sea may very well just be the West Philippine Sea. The Philippines is hosting its largest annual military exercise of the year. And these war drills are specifically aimed at China because they simulate island defense and island capture near Taiwan. The 3-week-long exercise between the Philippines and the US is called Balikatan. This year, France will also take part for the first time. Over 16,000 troops will be taking part. The drills include maritime security, dynamic missile strikes, land and air defense, and cyber warfare. Balikatan means shoulder to shoulder, and the aim of the drills is to enhance cooperation.
Over 16,000 members from the armed forces of the Philippines and the United States military will train together this year. In doing so, we will demonstrate that the Mutual Defense Treaty between the United States and the Republic of the Philippines is no mere piece of paper.
With the Balikatan exercise, both Manila and Washington are going to demonstrate the importance of their relations.
Balikatan 24 gives us the opportunity to demonstrate advanced, multi-domain, cross-functional combined operations across a full range of missions. In short, we're going to show the people of the Philippines and the world that we've gotten better, and we're never going to stop doing so.
It is not a partnership of convenience, but rather a clear reflection of our shared history, unwavering commitment to democracy, and respect for international law in our pursuit of peace and security in the Indo-Pacific region.
This year marks the 39th edition of Balikatan, and with the world growing ever irritated with China, Manila decided to invite friends who also have problems with Beijing's bogus claims. 14 other nations are taking part as military observers. Joining from Asia are Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, South Korea, Japan, Thailand, Singapore, Vietnam, and India. From the Indo-Pacific region, Australia and New Zealand were invited, and representing the West are Germany, the United Kingdom, and Canada. But among these participants, India plays one of the most important roles for securing the Philippines. Just before exercise Balikatan began, New Delhi gave Manila a booster shot in the arm, the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile. The Philippines has purchased 3 batteries of the BrahMos in a deal worth over $375 million. Manila has now become the first customer for the deadly fire-and-forget missiles, which makes India and the Philippines BrahMos brothers. The first batch has already been delivered, along with Indian desserts, which were relished by the Filipino Marines. Here's why China is worried as the Philippines gets ready to deploy the BrahMos. The BrahMos is a medium-range supersonic cruise missile. It's powered by a scramjet engine with an operational range up to almost 1,000 kilometers. The missile skims the sea, flying just 2 to 3 meters above water, making it nearly impossible to intercept. And the BrahMos has a margin of error of just about 1 meter, which means it will always hit its target, particularly something big like a Chinese ship. The Philippines is going to field the BrahMos against China, and India has assured Manila of the missile's capability and lethality.
A very potent missile, and it has been evolving also in range, capability and so on. So the fact is that it is made in India, so we are not dependent on anybody else. It can be repaired, spares are available. So it's a great advantage. So this has evolved from, in range, in capabilities, in its lethality and so on. So this is going to be the mainstay for some time, and that is why we are replacing all old missiles with this, and we are installing the BrahMos. And now we got the expertise to install it in very quick time.
Relations between Beijing and Manila have been rocked by disputes in the West Philippine Sea. China's military aggression has escalated tensions. The biggest points of contention are the Scarborough shoal and the Spratly Islands, both of which are closer to the Philippines than they are to China. In fact, this year's Balikatan exercise includes American and Filipino troops practicing the defense of these disputed islands. And just like that, China has a serious problem with the drills, a predictable response from the bullish Beijing.
关于非美的军事合作，中方已经多次表。
The Philippine side should have a clear understanding that ganging up with non-regional countries to flex muscle in the South China Sea and instigating confrontation will only aggravate tensions and undermine regional stability. Any attempts to bring in external forces for the sake of one's own security will only incur greater insecurity and even make one become a pawn. We urge the Philippine side to stop provocation and stirring up trouble at sea, and we urge the relevant countries outside the region to stop instigating confrontation in the South China Sea.
必要措施，坚定捍卫。
These threats are not new, and this time Manila has a few tricks up its sleeve. The Philippines has entered into a trilateral partnership with the US and Japan for enhancing security in the Indo-Pacific.
The trilateral agreement is not something that is only out of convenience or because there is a new situation. I really view it as a continuing evolution of our relationship with both countries, with the U.S. and Japan. I think the trilateral agreement is extremely important. It is going to change the dynamic that we have been seeing in the region, in ASEAN, in Asia, around the South China Sea, and I think certainly for the better.
Apart from this, Manila also hosted the US, Japan and Australia for maritime patrols in the West Philippine Sea. Manila has learned that to tame the dragon, you have to fight fire with fire. And the long-standing success of Exercise Balikatan is proof that the Philippines is very much ready for the Chinese challenge.